So why does fixing your posture feel impossible even when you try? Here's the truth. Bad posture isn't a character flaw. It's not because you're lazy. It's because your body is unbelievably good at one thing, making yesterday's position feel normal today. And most posture advice fails because it tells you to do the last step first. Pull your shoulders back, stand tall, chin tucked. That's like trying to straighten a bent tent pole while the ropes are still cranked tight. But here's what changes everything. Posture is basically a system of tension and timing. Some muscles are pulling you forward like a constant magnet, and other muscles that should hold you up have gone offline because they don't need to work anymore. So we're doing a reset in the only order that actually sticks. Remove the forward pull, turn the support system back on, and lock it in with one simple pattern so it carries over after the video. And we start with the most common handcuff in the upper body. If your shoulders lift forward, it's usually not because your back is weak, it's because your shoulders are being pulled there. Your pecs and the front of your shoulder get short and grabby, like a jacket that's one size too small. They keep the shoulder joint living forward, even when you try to stand tall. Meanwhile, the muscles that are supposed to pull your shoulder blades back and down don't disappear. They just stop getting invited. Your brain basically says, why pay those guys when the front side is doing all the controlling? So we're not going to start by strengthening your back and hoping it overpowers a locked down chest. We're going to change what position your shoulders are even allowed to return to. And here's the payoff. After this first stretch, you're going to do one simple movement that exposes exactly how locked up your upper back has become. And then you'll switch on a set of muscles that makes your posture feel automatic again. Most people don't even realize those muscles exist until they feel them. But it only works if we do this in order. The first exercise will be targeting your pecs. We untie the rope with the doorway pec stretch. Find a doorway. Place your forearms on the frame, with your elbows bent at 90 degrees. This next part is crucial. Your elbows should be at or just slightly below shoulder height. Go too high, and you can end up pinching the shoulder joint. Get into a staggered stance and take a small step through the doorway. Lean from your chest, not by arching your lower back. You should feel a deep opening stretch across your chest. We are not bouncing. This is a static hold. I want you to spend a full 45 seconds here. Breathe. On every exhale, just try to let go a little bit more. After 45 seconds, slowly ease out of it. Now that the front of the tent is fixed, we have to address the tent pole itself, your mid-back or your thoracic spine. Here's the deal. Your mid-back is designed to rotate. It's supposed to be a spiral staircase, but after years of being locked in one slumped position, yours has become an elevator shaft. It's fused solid. And when your mid-back can't twist, your body finds that rotation somewhere else, usually your lower back or shoulder joints, which is a recipe for disaster. We're going to fix that with the thread the needle. Get on all fours, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. To make this a pure mid-back move, sit your hips back just a few inches toward your heels. This locks your lower back, so it can't cheat. Now, take your left arm and thread the needle under your right arm. Reach as far as you can. Then bring that left arm back and rotate up towards the ceiling, reaching high. Here is a killer pro tip, courtesy of your pal FitZip. Follow your moving hand with your eyes. Your head and your eyes should lead the rotation. This is what unlocks that spiral staircase. Don't rush this. We're going to flow back and forth for 45 seconds on one side, then switch and do 45 seconds on the other. You are literally reteaching this part of your spine how to move. Now, before we move on, you need to understand something. This routine is fantastic, but it's one tool in the toolbox. The guys who stay strong, mobile, and injury-free for decades have built bodies that are resilient, not just strong at a few specific lifts. That's the piece most people miss, and it's the entire focus of my ebook. It's loaded with all the overlooked exercises, the mobility drills, and the stability work that builds a truly functional, high-performance body. It's the step-by-step blueprint to get you moving and feeling the way you're supposed to. You can scan the QR code on screen with your phone or check it out using the link in the description below after the video. All right, we've unlocked the tight chest. We've mobilized the rusty mid-back. Now, and only now, can we wake up those sleepy employees in the back. This Y raise is the boss dumping a bucket of ice water on them. Lie face down on the floor. Rest your forehead on a small rolled-up towel to keep your neck neutral. Extend your arms out into a Y shape, with your palms facing each other and your thumbs pointing to the ceiling. Here's the cue. Initiate by thinking about squeezing your shoulder blades down and back first. The movement starts in your mid-back, not your arms. Then, let your arms float up as a result of that squeeze. Lift, hold for a 3-second count at the top, and feel that. That deep contraction right between your shoulder blades, that's a group of muscles you probably haven't felt in a decade. Slowly, lower back down. We're going to do 10 to 15 slow, perfect, deliberate reps. Upper body protocol is complete. Now we run the exact same system on the lower body. And this is where most posture routines fall apart, because you can't stack your ribs over your hips if your hips are literally pulling you into that forward tilted bowl of water spilling out the front position all day. So step 1 is unlocking the hip flexors. Because tight hip flexors don't just make your hips feel tight, they quietly drag your pelvis forward, which usually forces your lower back to overarch, and then your upper back and neck have to compensate. Fix the front of the hip, and posture gets easier everywhere else. Also really quick, if you want to be a part of the free weekly newsletter, where I send out fitness tips and strategies, the link is in the description below. Now for the stretch. Get into a half-kneeling lunge position. One knee down, the other foot in front like you're about to propose to your hamstrings. Most people just lunge forward and call it a day, which is basically a quad stretch cosplay. The magic isn't the lunge, the magic is the tilt. Here's the setup that actually makes it a posture stretch. Stay tall, don't lean forward like you're trying to sniff your front knee. Ribs down, chin level, like there's a string pulling the top of your head to the ceiling. Now do two things at the same time. 1. Squeeze the glute of the knee that's down, like you're trying to crack a walnut back there. 2. Tuck your tailbone under, think zipper up, or like you're trying to point your belt buckle toward your chin. When you do those two things together, you're not just yanking on the front of the hip, you're telling your pelvis, hey, we're going back to neutral. That's the posture win. Now then gently shift forward an inch, not a foot, an inch. If you keep the glute squeezed and the tail tucked, you'll feel a deep, intense stretch running right down the front of your hip and into the top of your thigh. That's the hip flexor complex doing its thing. Quick form checks so you know you've got it. If you feel it mostly in the front of your knee or quad, you're probably just lunging forward without the tilt. If your low back starts arching, you lost the rib position. Reset tall, ribs down, tail tucked. If you're wobbling all over, tighten your abs just a little like you're bracing for a light punch. Hold that tension. Breathe slow. Inhale through your nose. Exhale like you're fogging a mirror. Each exhale, see if you can tuck a tiny bit more without losing height. We're holding this for 60 seconds. Then switch sides, and do not rush this. A clean 60 seconds with the right tilt beats 3 minutes of the random lunge and hope stretch every time. We've released the front of the pelvis. Now it's time to wake up the muscles on the back of it. Your glutes. They are the most powerful muscle in your body, and we have systematically put them to sleep by sitting on them all day. Lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart. Before you lift, brace your core. Now, drive your hips up toward the ceiling by squeezing your glutes. Don't just push up with your back. At the top, your body should be in a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Hold that peak contraction for 5 full seconds. We want activation and connection. Then, slowly lower back down. We're doing 10 to 12 reps of this. We want quality over quantity. So here's your 10-minute daily ritual for perfect posture. Start by unlocking your chest with the doorway pec stretch for a full minute. Follow that by mobilizing your mid-back on the floor with the thread the needle with reach for 90 seconds. With your upper body prepped, activate those sleepy back muscles with 10 to 15 reps of the prone Y raise. That's the top half done. Then, you fix the foundation, moving to the kneeling hip flexor stretch for 60 seconds per side to unlock the front of your hips. And then bring it all home with 10 to 12 5-second holds of the glute bridge. This whole routine will take you about 10 minutes. Do it every single day. Make it a ritual. Do it when you wake up to set your frame for the day, or as a warm-up before your workout. You didn't build this posture in a day, so you won't fix it in one, but you will fix it. Just be consistent. And remember, that ebook I mentioned is the full blueprint for building a resilient, high-performance body that's designed to last. The link is right down there. Your future self will thank you.